Hello. So a lot of stuff's been going on. Haven't really been too busy to stream for I don't even know how long. Actually, I could look it up real quick. I last streamed about a month ago. Was the last stream I did. And yeah. A few things happened. Mostly just work though. But I finally got enough time. Let's turn that volume down a little bit more. Finally got enough time to do a little painting. I don't know how long I'll be going on for today, but I knew I was forgetting something. I'm gonna have to run and grab a paper towel. I'll put my water down first and then run and do that real quick. I've been trying to decide whether I should use the paste paint here on the top. Oh, it's all the way over here. Right here. Or the powder paint for the truck there. And my logic is that if I use the paste instead of the powder, that it won't match the rest of the paints because it's a lot more opaque than the powders. It really solidifies onto the paper. I can just show you right here. Like, see those two blues there? The upper one is the tube and the bottom one is the powder of the same color. So for the truck, I was gonna go multimedia, but maybe I'll just do multiple layers of the powder instead. That's what I'm thinking about right now, but alright, I'm gonna run and grab the paper towels real quick and I'll be right back. False start. I'm sure I'm forgetting other stuff too because it's been a month since I've touched my brushes. So, I'm a little uncomfortable too. That's something else that tells me I haven't painted in a while. Well. I'm sitting sideways too. That's weird. I feel so awkward. Now, where to begin? It's always the hardest thing. So I think it'll be hard to do those. See, it's mostly, a lot of the clouds are orange and pink with a subtle bit of blue, this blue here. And maybe I'll go over it with the... It might make sense to do orange first and then come in with the red. I'm gonna get lost in these clouds. I know this is very exciting, but finding where to start is always the hardest part for me. My tree line disappeared when I drew it. There's supposed to be trees right here, and it looks like it didn't take the transfer paper very well. Actually, that might be the place to start. Color of these clouds, I can't even tell. It's like a neutral blue purple. They're more gray. It's like gray with a hint of red, purple. I don't know. But the clouds that are around them are very, very, very bright orange. So that might be the place to start, especially because the trees are going to be just climbing up into them right here. So that might make the best practice spot. And I'll have to give it plenty of time to dry before I put the trees in. So yeah, it looks like maybe that'll be my starting point. Just right here above the roof. So I think the little brush here usually when I do clouds I want to do a bigger brush, but this is so small that power line goes up here, farther up. Dang it. And here I thought I was ready to paint. So the orange goes all the way here. Okay. Kinda. Is that supposed to be? Okay. So that's really supposed to be the orange. I gotta get rid of that line because it is way too visible. It's gonna annoy me. Alright, it's a little better. And it just goes just to the right here, and then the trees kind of come up. So it's all going to be really small too. Alright, I have put paint to paper. It only took 15 minutes. Should get some yellow in there because it's turning more orange than I thought. Probably because I got rid of all the separated. Oh, let me get rid of this dust first. Something I never did that I meant to do. I wanted to make like a lid tray stand for my paint so it wouldn't get dusty when I wasn't painting frequently, because especially on the Potter's Marsh painting, which I don't have hanging up right now because I haven't gotten a new print yet, but let's see here. Very yellow, but maybe it'll mix well. It took me a long time to do the Potter's Marsh painting, obviously, but if I had the tray stand and cover, then I think it would have saved me a little headache, because there's not much more annoying than going to paint and just getting globs of dust in your paint. Now I want to design a stand and and cover for the trays. Let me just do a quick sketch. I gotta get it out of my head so I'll stop thinking about it. So it'll be content. I'll just do the what's in my head right now just on here. So I want a double door And then I want 3 racks for paints. And if it's in a case like this, then I won't need a lid because the case is already a lid. And it would be fairly thin, just a little thicker than these trays themselves. That's not what was in my head, but that's what I decided upon. I wanted to go a little more complicated in my head, but I was like, I don't really need to. Simplicity is better. No need to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Alright. Now, chances are I'm going to come back over these clouds later once I get the trees in and touch up the color a bit. So it's a little bit of a placeholder for now. But I just want to get a bit here, just because it'll help me figure out what goes on in the rest of the painting. It's right here to the left of the peak. It comes down again, the tree line does, and then it goes back up, and then it'll, nope, that's not right. Comes down here and comes back up and then follows the wheel down here. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that, but my shoulder popped. My left shoulder, of all things, is giving me trouble lately. Usually it's my right shoulder because that's the one I had trouble with. Alright, doesn't look like there's much going on here, but for me it is. And there's going to be it's so small, I don't know that I'm going to be able to show a lot of this detail without getting really close to it. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. It doesn't really look like much right now. But what I'm doing is I'm highlighting the bright spots and what will be bright later once I get the opposite colors in. Because there's going to be like a red purple shadows here opposite all these colors. While I'm here, there's a little train silo up in the air right here. And I'll just give a little bit of gray too. It's like a water tower or something. And I'm not doing any detail to it or shadowing or anything. I'm just going to give it a little bit of awareness. Because I have a feeling that when I come through with the trees are just black. There's no texture to them. There's no color to them. It's just straight black, all shade, no color. And when I come through with that, a lot of this will be just written over completely because the sun's coming from that direction, so it's all shadow. Which honestly, I might just do a lot of the texture stuff before I do that. Then that might make sense. I don't know, I haven't painted in a month. I'm just kind of playing right now. I'm not even looking to make a lot of progress today, especially, no one's watching anyway. So, it's not a big deal. I guess doesn't matter. Just do whatever I feel like doing. And I kind of feel like doing detail work, even though I am very far off from doing detail work in this painting. Here's a question. Do I want to do the power line? I guess I do. Maybe I'll do that last. It's very subtle. It's a very industrial painting. That's kind of the point, but at the very least I'll do the towers for the power line. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself by doing this, but it's okay because I haven't painted in a month, so I'm just having fun. Put a friendly little power line here, and over here it's another little secret power line. These little power lines are what keep our nation going, keeping the world going, really. These power lines are what give you the magic power to create light by the flick of a switch. Funny enough, this painting is kind of an homage to the people that keep it going, to keep those systems going. But these will disappear a little bit into the background once I get the sky in there and the trees. can tell that I haven't painted just every time I go to put something on. Okay, it is. The way I was seeing this, it looked like the arm sticking out here was a cloud. Alright, I got a bit of the color there. What am I doing? Washing out in the wrong water cup. So I need to figure out my swatch. There it is. Need to figure out what color I'm gonna make these clouds. It's kind of a, I guess it is more of a scarlet, just washed out. It's a washed out scarlet. Let's test it. Let's test it out. But I gotta do something about all the pencil lens too. Where did I put my eraser? There it is. Kept it right at hand. It's almost like I knew. I haven't done clouds in a while though. I'm kind of nervous, especially doing it this way. I've never done it this way before. Usually I do this like amalgamation of random strokes and light planning, but this is like heavy planning. But it's like I do orange and then red over it. Maybe. Either way, it's gonna be pretty light. So that should be dry by now. Very, very subtle. A lot of this is going to be subtle, just from the lighting in general. I almost go over the red with some blue as well to give it almost a purple. But let me just give this a little more texture. So again, I've never done clouds like this, so I'm kind of hoping it turns out well. didn't have the effect I wanted. Really didn't. On this cloud, okay, I see what I did. So I went in a bit heavy with the color on this cloud because compared to the other clouds, this cloud is much more white and wispy. I mean, they're all wispy, but this one is a lot more neutral than the other clouds. So I went on a bit strong. And I think when I come through with the blue, the pencil line's not helping it at all either, which that was my fault when I was sketching it. I was a little bit heavy-handed with the left side of this. I'm hoping that it'll lay down when I get more of the darker colors in here. Since that went so well, how about we keep doing clouds? I wonder if I'll get the effect I'm looking for if I just if I was doing oil or pastels, this would be easy because I just go with this mixed color here, but it doesn't work for, I have to create that same effect. Oh, I just noticed something weird about the photo. Anyway, that doesn't matter. This is my new scratch paper. So I think I need to turn my lights up too because I can barely see that. I gotta readjust, turn this down. I want it brighter. I'll turn the color down a little bit. That should make the red pop out a little more. The problem is my camera doesn't seem to be wanting to pick up the faint red that I'm doing here. So while I'm trying to make it interesting, I don't want to mess up the painting while I'm doing it. Can you even see that? You can't. What the heck? Nope, still can't. Is it because I have the window open? Could be. You can kind of see it, but if I do the time lapse later, it'll look like I'm just pushing water around. And if I do any more red than this, it'll just be red. It won't be this faded pink that I'm after. just water. And I'm back to that same problem. I was really heavy on the pencil. I didn't realize it was that bad. But before I put a layer of paint over it and just seal it there, this is the biggest brush I have. Stupid. Maybe I'll just do just this side and do it as I go, because I'm not going to finish it all right now, that's for sure. And I kind of want to leave the guidelines there just so I don't get lost later. Man, that didn't come off at all, did it? Tisk, tisk. This is why it's hard to do like planned out clouds, because it's way easier to just randomly find clouds inside a painting. Maybe I can do a kind of mix of both. Maybe that's what my original plan was, now that I think about it. So if I go through here, that's why I didn't fill in some of these. Good job, past me. You used your brain. That's not so bad. Man, subtlety is so subtle. It's tough. Trying to do just enough. And eventually... Hey, dealer, what's happening? I didn't even realize anyone was in here. I saw your ugly drip masterpiece. That was top notch. I voted for you. Your Titan for Joe's drunk trials, huh? How you doing, buddy? I haven't talked to you in a while. You were kind of in a rough spot last time I talked. How you holding up? I would join you, but I'm painting at the moment, and then I've got D&D after, and then I got a ton of chores I gotta do before the day is over with. My one day off a week, so. Did you lighthouse yet today? Nice. Is there new gear this season? It has to be, right? I haven't taken a look at it at all. If I'm on, it's usually, Fork Fight or Diablo at the moment. Just because that's what no new gear? Aw, that's disappointing. Not even new rolls. Ah. Don't worry about it, he says. Jeez. Well, again, if you ever need to talk or anything, I'm a Discord away. Drinking solves all problems. Drinking was part of why I stopped streaming there for a little bit. I mean, it was mostly work, but I went out drinking a few weeks ago, about a month ago, maybe a little more at this point. But I got drugged while I was out at a bar, and I lost most of the memory of the night, and then I walked home like 3 hours from my house. I walked all the way from downtown to where I live. Well, most of the way to where I live, but yeah, it was an interesting night. I paid for a couple weeks too. Worst hangover I ever had ever. But they got me with is that GHB or something like that, whatever that chemical is. That was awful. So yeah, drinking definitely didn't solve that. Did John make an announcement on Tower Casuals yet? I didn't look to see if he made a certain announcement on there yet. Gotta do something about these pencil marks before I go too far. Well, man, what have you been up to? You still hitting it hard in trials then? I smartly didn't go crazy with the lead on the left side there. That's helpful, but it'll make it harder to find where I want to paint, unfortunately. But I think that'll be the best way to do these at my skill level. I think it might be too late. Some of that might be there to stay. Unfortunate, but I guess I got rid of most of the lines on the other ones. Maybe I can keep doing that for a little bit. It's gonna be a little boring, but I want it to be good, so. Blue or gray clouds, very easy for me. Pink and orange clouds, the opposite of the spectrum. It's so difficult. And it turns into like, we got like windswept clouds on the right, and then it turns into puffy clouds on the left, and then it kind of does both here. So this will be interesting. I don't know what the best way to imply fluffiness when they're red. Looks like I can do some shadowing with blue later. That'll help. Okay, these clouds here are so much more subtle than the drawing makes them out to be. Really gotta stop overhanding like that. The curses of being left-handed. Maybe if I... but then I can't draw it just as well. Well. Yeah, I get way more control if I overhand it. It's the oddest thing. I'm just a lefty in a right-handed world. Something I could have done to help me with this part. I could have grabbed another washout cup, and then as I was washing the red out in that cup, I could have used that to dip in instead of paint, because I could have gotten such a brighter red out of it. Because right now I'm trying to pull some of the red out of the pink that I've done, and I'm trying to use that to highlight underneath the red. It's a trick I did on the monotone painting, not the tree painting, but the Susitna mountain with the snowshoes painting. I was only using one color, so every time I washed out, it was just making a diluted version of that color. It wasn't mixing with anything else. So, yeah, hang on. But if I wash out, then I just got a diluted perfect color there. Anyway, let's see. So let's do a really vague pink here. And I believe there's a nice line here and a solid mass. Up here at the top. That should be okay if I kind of do a random style. What I prefer to do with the cloud. Oh, way too much red. Oh, never mind. So it doesn't look like anything right now, but it'll... Can you even see that? It just looks like discoloration on the camera. Ugh. I can see it, and it'll become more apparent as I add blue around it. And then of course, I'm going to turn this vertically so I can try and get some wind swipes in here. A lot of this going around. I'm being a little too careful with this, but I think it's fine. Shoulder popped again. That's 2. Oh, you can actually see it on the camera now. Took a second. But now I got it wet enough that it's shining at me, so I can't quite see it that well. It's reflecting right into my eye. Maybe if I shift the whole thing over. See, the problem with doing clouds like this is if I go too far at all, I can't really, I mean, I could try and lift color out, but it is so much easier to just add more, which will make it so time consuming. And I know I'm not going to be happy until it's, well, acceptable. Like, I already want to lift color out of these ones on the right, but I don't need to yet. I got such a ways to go on this, and it'll be a trip. Although, let's been going for about an hour already, surprisingly. I went fast. I mean, half of it was me trying to figure out what to do, but let's do something that doesn't matter as much. Let's do the texture on this building here. Let's see. It's vertical. I'm wondering if I mixed up way too much for this. I needed like 0 brown and all white to make this color. This cream color. Not even like a clean cream color. Actually, that's pretty good. That's funny. But this brown here. I believe it goes all the way over. Yes, it does. Looking at the color I'm getting, I'll probably come through with a layer of shadow as well. But it doesn't need to be much, it just needs to be enough to notice the texture. Because I'm gonna go back, how did blue get into it? What the heck? Just a sec, I need to fix this. Yep, splashing. This song is kind of not relaxing at all. And with the piano, you would think it would be, but it sounds like a anxiety driving scene in like Born Ultimatum or something. Deciding against using this paintbrush, I think. Pop 3 times. keep going with up and down motions here. Maybe I won't have to go through and texture all of it. The brush strokes alone will be enough to, because it's not really, even if you look at the picture, it's still fairly subtle, even if you look at the reference. So it's far enough away that you can't really tell it's panelized like this. It's funny, I just realized that this dumpster here, right here, the lid is actually just pointing straight up, just like this. Freehand it. I'm glad all this paint I mixed, it wasn't wasted, because man, paint is expensive. Wrong brush for that, but funky bass line. There's a bright light here that I'm trying to paint around too. both of these doors. I don't know why I went so heavy on the shadow that early, but they both need a little bit of a cream tint to it. They're just dirty, you know. Happens to all of us. Not a big deal. And then under the roof here, really the color continues, but it's so dark in comparison. And in the original, there's a stack of pallets behind the truck as well, but I'm gonna ignore that. Partially because it's not really that picturesque. Partially because I just don't want to paint a bunch of pallets. There's a door right here. So the color doesn't matter as much on this lower section because I'm going to go back over it with shadow. But I don't want to go up too high because there are frames of the roof that I want to go back and do. I've never been great about planning out my painting as I'm painting it. I usually put all my planning thought, well, that's not true. I mean, specifically using paint to plan out. Usually I gotta get it generally where I want before that, or else I'll also get it wrong, but I guess I've been branching out more and more lately when it comes to stuff like that. Heck, this whole thing I've been doing, a good chunk of this painting has been kind of just planning it out by paint, now that I think about it. I don't know if that's me getting better or me being lazy. Maybe it's a combination of both. It is a little more relaxing than that other anxiety song. There we go. Got a little more color in it. There's a sign there under the roof next to the dumpster here. Well, it's not a dumpster. It's I think it's for dumping sand into. So it's a transfer point. A loader comes in with sand and it dumps the sand in here. And then the sand, there's a belt behind this that brings the sand into the building for sacking. That's what this area of the building is for. In fact, I'll probably end up putting a little thing there, but there's a sign right here, and I'm not really debating on whether I include it or not, because it'll end up being the size of this vent here, just right here, and it'll be white. You won't even be able to read it. It'll just look generally like a white blob. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'm not going to include that. A lot of detail work I could do if I just chose to do it, but I don't think it'll bring anything to the painting itself. Like, there's one of those mirrors that you see around corners with right here. So you can see if anyone's coming either way, if you're coming out of one of those two doors. But it's so small and you wouldn't even notice it. So I'm not going to include that, I don't think. Been a while since I have painted by myself. This lid here is less of a lid and more like a backboard, honestly. I don't think it ever closes. maybe I'm going a little hard in the subtle details too early here. I haven't even finished adding the color yet, so maybe I'll cool it with that. Still, for as little as I've done this time, it does look different already. Just adding the color to the building did a lot. Please agree. Please applause. Please clap. Actually, I'm gonna do just a little band of color on this tent thing. Pretty subtle, but I gotta get a synonym for subtle. I feel like I use it too much when I'm painting. I want to get this on here fairly early because I'm going to come back and do more with it later. And I hope that it will dry completely so I can just not even worry about it. And I'll probably come through with some gray or something to add shadows to it as well. And I'm worried about this next spot because above this part here it is exposed to the sunlight, so it's adding a bit of a glare to it, and I really don't have a lot of practice. Maybe I'll come back through and add some red here and just keep it light for now, except for the parts that are not in sunlight. And just hope that doesn't screw me up later. It kind of works, honestly, even without adding red. It kind of looks like a glare from the light here. I think I got a piece of dust there. Yep, I did. I'll have to come through a few times to get the depth I'm looking for here. Oh. Okay. That's a mistake. The paper was a little too wet. So I'll just leave it there for now. Let it dry off, and then next time I'll add more. Let's see, anything simple I want to do here before I call it. Let's just do a little more above here. That way I can shade it all in at once instead of splitting it up. Especially right here, because it's going to end up being the darkest spot, probably. I just got to go around the, there's another light right here. This is the sign I was talking about. Let's see. It's the best way to do this. I gotta get a better mic stand. That'll come after I make my new desk. Hopefully before I finish this desk I'll have a whole new computer, a whole new desk. Wait, what'd I say? Hopefully before I finish this painting I hope to have a new desk. And man, is that getting louder? So right here, there is a support beam. Just a real simple wall support there for the roof. And I'm doing a lot of planning by paint in this one. So right here, that is the outline of the conveyor belt. This white vacuum here. And it just goes right up into the wall. And then there's a nice little sign here. ABIAH. I don't know what it says. So that's really more for planning than finality. Oh, okay. Hour and a half is pretty good for first time painting in a month, right? Slowly, very slowly, becoming closer and closer to finished. Cool. All right, well, I really want to try and do better about getting on and streaming. Unfortunately, throughout the summer, it's job dependent, and well, in the case of what happened to me a month ago, I had the time, but I didn't have the mentality, and I had to deal with that for a couple weeks at least, and then my job after that. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to stream nearly as much as I would wanted to. I'll try and do better. If I get the chance, I'll stream at a random hour maybe, and Really, that's all I can say for the summertime. Probably slower in the fall though. Just before it starts to freeze, I have a feeling I'll get more and more free time, and then I'll suddenly break loose from my work chains and and have all the free time in the world, but no money. So, yeah, I'll try and do better. Hopefully, I'll be back on next Sunday. If not, I'll be on Sunday after that. So, thanks for stopping by. Thanks, Dealer, for stopping by and chatting. And hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.